Hello, welcome back to my floor. I am going to make another overlay dress today. The first overlay dress had bows and it was cute and it had ruffles. My name's Alicia. I'm from Doors and Floors blog, where we write about DIYs, daily adventures, and life abroad here in Peru. And today's life abroad involves absolutely no power until 4 o'clock. So we're going to batch create as much as we can and basically prep all my sewing, if at all possible. We shall see. We're just gonna line it up for myself. So today I am making another, I say today like it's all gonna get done today. It's not. Today we are making a tulle overlay dress. We're gonna make this one, hypothetically. So the design for this dress is going to be, let me find my marker. Go. Ideally this should be pretty easy, but I say that having not sewn it yet. I'm just incredibly optimistic. So welcome to the life of Alicia. Anyways, this one is going to have, I don't know why I'm drawing it way over there. Let's try that again. This one is going to have a collar. We're going to need to, this is completely ugly. This is horrible. This one's going to have sleeves, and it's going to have an opening in the back so it can tie together. It says there's going to be no zipper, but you do need to make sure that you make it big enough to fit over your clothes. That's kind of the idea with an overlay dress. You're not walking around just in your underpanties. That's not what we do around here. It's completely impractical with all the mosquitoes outside. But we are going to have it big enough to go over some cute outfits and just be this cute, stylish accent piece. I'm going to use my bodice block or a t-shirt for reference so I can get this, but I want an oversized fit, like I said, to make sure that I have enough space to get it over my clothes. The skirt is going to be mildly gathered, but not really super gathered. And then the sleeves, I was thinking of doing a 3/4 length sleeve with a little, I don't know if it'll be elastic or if it'll just be a cute little cuff. But that's my general inspo idea. I would start by determining how long you want each of these sections to be, and then do you actually want this many sections? If I want this many, where do I want my skirt to start? I think I'm going to want my skirt to start maybe at the hip. So I'm going to determine how long I want the skirt to be from here down, and then I'm also going to determine where I want to divide by 3. So I'm going to take that first section, and I think it's going to be right above. So this section here, I've got 15 centimeters or 6 inches. So I'm going to just write this down on mine. And then the next section, I'm going to go, where did I say? 6 inches to here. And then from here, I'm going to go, let's say 7 inches. So this one needs to be 7 inches. And then that's just the last section. So from 6. To just do it all while I'm sitting here instead of keep taking it off. 7. And then how far down do I want the last section to be? Let's see, where do my pants hit? My pants hit to here. So I'm going to make this last section 5 inches. This is not yet including my seam allowance. I will need to include that in it, but let's start with that. For the shape of it and the armhole, I am going to use my bodice block for that. That's not including the bottom hem allowance. Then I'm going to need this 26 inches. So that's the width for me, not the width, the height for me. And then I'm just going to determine what I need. I'm going to determine what I need to be able to get it over my shoulder. So I'm going to go find one of my loose baggy shirts so I can make sure I get the fit right, and then I will add at least 1 inch of seam allowance along all sides. And then sleeves, I'm going to say I need it from the shoulder. Don't don't laugh at me when I do this, okay? But this is how I measure my sleeves. You put your chin here. Does it look ridiculous? Yes, it does. I think I want it to go to here. So I'm gonna need 18 inches before I add seam allowance. So let's get started. Let's do it. Finished cutting all my pieces out, and I've pinned the 3 bottom panels together so that they're all 2 layers. I'm gonna zigzag stitch them, and then I'll zigzag stitch the bottom piece, probably. I've got all of those, and I'm just gonna get going. But while I was cutting out my fabric, I was getting ready to cut a collar based off of the high neck that I want on the original one, and I had a thought. Hear me out. What if the collar, you know, it goes here on the neck, but we kind of, you know, make it so there's a bow in the back? What do you think? I kind of like it. I'm not 100% sure how to work, but I kind of like it, and I'm going to play with it. I also cut some pieces for the sleeves, and I was debating about how I wanted it to sit. Originally, this was going to be the piece that goes in it, the tunnel, but if I do the bow here, I might want to do a bow on the sleeve too, which could be cute. I don't know that it'll be as long as this is. I can't tie a bow with one hand. I don't know that it'll be this long, but something that I really liked about the blue dress that I made was how long the bows were at the back. I really loved that piece that flowed back. My straps were a little too thin, but I really loved the flowing part, and that's giving me some ideas. But tell me what you think. I'm gonna go sew these pieces. I'm gonna think about this some more. I'm gonna go sew these pieces. But let me know what you think, because I'm curious. Do we like this? Do we like the bow? Do we like the bow? I could, hold on. Do we like the bow? Is it the right arm? Okay, I'm off to the sewing machine. A little progress report for you. I've got all my pieces sewn together for double layers. Everything looks like this now. It's 2 pieces. It's the 2 pieces. I zigzag stitched everything together. Apparently I forgot to trim my thread. But I got everything ready. I would show you the rest, but the cat sat on it, so hold on, let me put this here. Okay, so we've got these 2, the upper piece, the middle piece, both the bottom pieces. Oh, okay, you may get down. I've also got the neck line, both neck pieces. Oop, oop, oop. Okay, I've also got both of the shoulder pieces sewn together. I have 2 layers for each of these, but they're both sewn together at the shoulder. I've also done the back opening, so it is nicely enclosed. I'm fighting the cat right now. It is nicely enclosed, and I sewed the little tip right here so that it looks nice on the outside. And I tried it on before pinning, but I won't try it on now because I will end up stabbing myself. But now would be the perfect time to test to make sure this fits over your head. And it fits perfectly. So I've already begun to pin my neck collar, to the neck piece. All I'm going to do is sew around it and then fold it over, tuck under one edge, and sew around it until the end, and it encloses that, and then that will be all done. All of this should have taken me 3 to 4 hours to do, and it took me a whopping 3 to 4 weeks to do. Yeah, we're making great progress on this project. We're doing swell. Next, I'm going to finish the neck piece, and then I'm going to begin to sew together each of my pieces for the rest of the dress. So I'm going to take one piece from each of the sections and sew them together. So I have 3 there. I'm going to sew these 3 together here, and then we will come back together to attach the shoulder pieces to the bottom half of the top. And we will need to talk about sleeves at some point, but we're not there yet. So we'll get there when we get there. We've got 16 things we need to do today and only so much time to do it in. So we got to get talking. Also, apparently some llamas are getting married today, and I don't know what that's about, but I promised to find out for the both of us. I promised to bring back evidence. No idea what it is, but I'm definitely inviting myself to the wedding. I know, that probably sounds completely ridiculous, but there was a car that went by, and they announced that the llamas were getting married. Vamos a ver el espectáculo del circo de las estrellas con el gran matrimonio de llamas, como el elefante de 50 centímetros más. Hoy presentamos un espectáculo renovado, distinto, variado. Vamos a ver el espectáculo del circo de las estrellas con el gran matrimonio de llamas, como el elefante de 50 centímetros más. Anyways, we don't have time for that right now. What we need to do, we need to do this, we need to talk, we need to give an update, and then I gotta go back to work because it's only 3:04 and it's Friday. So yeah, still at work. I have an incredible update for you for the very top of the dress, and I'm not ready to show it to you because the dress is unfortunately basically gonna blend in with the current shirt I'm wearing. I want you to see it, and I'm not gonna go change. I'm sorry, I just don't feel like it. So that's gonna have to wait for tomorrow. I've got both of my panels ready to go for the rest of the skirt. I've got 2 pieces that look exactly like this. I've got 2 pieces that look exactly like this. This is the bottom half of the skirt. It's going to go about here. And we're ready to proceed and attach it to the top. All my sides are, all my pieces, all my seams are zigzag stitched, and then I just straight stitched all the rows together. So we're good to go with that. I will give you an update on the top piece and the neck piece tomorrow. Anyways, that was 6 minutes of talking instead of the 3 minutes that I committed myself to. So I should go back to my computer, I should go back to work, and then we can get started on the sleeves. We'll probably do it after we come back from watching the llamas get married tonight, because I'm definitely going. When we see the llamas get married tonight, I promise to take you with me. I promise. I pinky promise. Come on, pinky promise with me. I will pinky promise. I promise. we'll see it. Don't worry. You're going to be a part of all the festivities here in Peru. We shook on it. That's a legally binding contract now. We'll see. Okay, here's where we're at. I do believe that this possibly, potentially, could be reversible, depending on what we do with the sleeves. Because I feel like a bow in the front could be kind of cute. It could be. I don't know, maybe. Anyways, next steps after we, oops, just kidding. Okay, there we go, I think, maybe. We need to decide if we're going to keep it hanging off the shoulders or if we're going to take it in. I was kind of thinking about maybe taking it in to here, to the top of the shoulder, instead of hanging off. And then we could use the panel and kind of gather it a little bit. So instead of it being the full width, we could kind of gather it to fit. And then it would be slightly baggier as it hung out the bottom. But I can't decide which way I want to go. And I need to hurry up and make my decision because we have all day to sew. So I need to just decide. And I need to make an executive decision and go for it. But that's where I'm at. I think my problem is I can't picture it with the sleeves. That's where I need to decide. The sleeves are going to go, let's see. Which way? This way. I'm having a hard time envisioning this. I'm going to go work on my sleeves, like I said yesterday, and we will decide what we're going to do with this afterwards. I don't think it's bad if we leave it hanging off the shoulders, and I don't think it's bad if we take it in, but I just can't decide which way I want to go. So I'm going to let myself think about it for a little while longer, but that's our update. We have a cute bow. It's all done. And the next part after this should be pretty darn easy to finish it. The sleeves. The sleeves going to be the hardest part of this, and otherwise we're basically there. Buenas tardes. I need to prep my ties for the cuff sleeve. So I thought while I flip everything over and I start pinning everything, I thought maybe I would tell you about the matrimonio de llamas, because I promised I would take you with me, and I did. I brought you, and I recorded the whole thing. It was a 14-minute skit at the circus. There was a lot of fun, a lot of fun stuff going on. We were there, I think it started at 7:30, and we didn't get home until basically 11. So it was a very long event. It was a very small circus. First of all, the llamas' names were Maria and Carlos. I don't know why you need to know this, but now you do, okay? We attended the the wedding of the season, the wedding of Maria and Carlos, Mr. and Mrs. Llama. For starters, they started to play the bridal march, and they took the llamas around this giant loop around the building that we were in, and everybody got to wave at the llamas and greet them, and we even took a picture with the bride. And the kids threw rice at the bride and groom as they went by, and then the skit like really took off, and they were talking about like where's the father of the bride, and where's the witness? We need a witness. And so it got all like goofy, and they were trying to find stuff. And my Spanish is not perfect, so I think they said we need like a stand-in father to give away the bride. I don't think he was supposed to be the father. I think he was supposed to be the stand-in father. And so this guy comes out with this blue wig, and they did the vows, and then the one of the funniest things was the father-daughter dance. So the guy in the blue wig picks up the llama and puts the llama's legs on his shoulders, and they did a little father-daughter dance. It was kind of hilarious. And then the llama knocked him over at one point too. It was very funny. But that was the show finale. So it was super fun. And it was just it was a small, very small circus, but it was very funny, and it was cute, and it was a good little date night that we went to. While we're on the topic of llamas, can I tell you one of the most fun sentences to say in Spanish? You get to say, ¿Cómo se llama tu llama? Come on, your turn. You say it now, okay? Go for it. I'm listening. You want me to repeat it again? ¿Cómo se llama tu llama? What's your llama's name? Tell me your llama's name. Come on. I know, it's amazing. It's a great sentence. So fab. Please tell me in the comment section what your llama's name is. You know, if you were to have a llama, what would your llama's name be? Just asking. Obviously, we're friends, so if you have a llama, even if it's a pretend llama, we should be close enough to know each other's llama's names. Obviously, it's important information, and it really shows how close we are. Also, while we're on the llama topic, more fun facts for you. Do you know what the difference is between a llama and alpaca? You should not overlook this fact, okay? The most important difference between a llama and an alpaca is that alpacas have manners. They do. Llamas do not have manners. They will spit on you. Every time I have taken a selfie with a llama, and then you take the picture, but you kind of take the picture while you're running away from the llama, because the llamas just turn to you, and you're like, I am going to get spit on, and I really don't want to. But the alpacas are super cute and super cuddly, and I want to take one home with me. I really do. I have a backyard full of chickens. I'm trying to convince my husband to let us get a llama. He goes, where are you supposed to keep it? And I keep telling him, there's a backyard full of chickens. If we have a backyard full of chickens, Obviously, we can fit an alpaca back there. You know, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, okay? We're friends, so it means you can't tell me I'm wrong. You're supposed to be on my side, just in case you weren't clear, because we've already connected and bonded over the fact that we both have imaginary llamas. You told me your llama's name. You know, I remember what you said. So there's no reason for you to side with him and tell me I can't have an alpaca in the backyard with the chickens and the banana trees. So, like, obviously, it's a duh. We should get an alpaca, right? 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 I will tell him that you are in full agreement with me. Please don't go back on your word. Please don't. I need all the support I can get in this in this movement to get Alicia an alpaca. Please sign the petition immediately. We'd like to support Alicia in getting an alpaca. Up towards the end. It's just shoulders are connected, everything's connected, and we've got our first sleeve. Ain't she cute? I asked my friend for advice on what I should do about the sleeves, and she said, if you're gonna make a dress that's supposed to be all about the drama, then lean into it. Stop shying away. Just go for it. Lean all the way into it. So we're leaning all the way into it. So we've got the drama bow, and our first sleeve is done. And we're going for a low sleeve, low shoulder, so that we have the full sleeve, so it's not a 3/4. It'll sit about here. But yeah, we're going for the drama sleeve. I'm going to move on to the second sleeve now. Sleeve number 1. Sleeve number 2. She's cute. Okay, now we can move on to this. We gotta hem it. We gotta sew the sides. We gotta add the sleeves. I think that's it. I think that's it. If we think of something else, we'll do whatever the other thing else is. But at the current moment, we're basically there. Let's go.
level.
I feel like that cat in, what is it, Aristocats, something like that. A cute little cat with the bow. That's what I feel like.
Next level.
I feel like this outfit has potential, but it can be so much more. And we have some scrap. So I might have to play with this because there's so much more we can do. There's so much more we can do to bring out this outfit. See you in the next vid.